be bought. What we do, it can't be taught. Putting our blood from up above. Yeah, we live for the drop. Oh no, we can't stop. Gonna let the beat rock. You know, we live for the drop. Yep, yeah, we live for the drop. Yeah, we live for the drop. Yep, yeah, we live for the drop. Let's get it now. Yep, yeah, we live for the drop. Yeah, we live for the drop. Yep, yeah, we live for the drop.
Okay. Welcome, guys. Love it, love it, love it. If I have not met you guys, my name is Pastor Brant. Hi. Alrighty, we got a hi. We got a hi. There we got one. We got one. I love it. Kind of reminds me, don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. Okay. Hi. As you guys are coming in, I want to give you just a rundown of what you can expect today. But before I do that, I would encourage you guys, don't forget, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on or subscribe on YouTube. And even if you want, you can follow us on TikTok. I promise we're not boring. Well, we try not to be. Maybe we're dumb. I don't know. It's up to you to decide. You'll have to figure that out yourself. So with that being said, we're going to play some games tonight. Brett's going to explain a little bit more, but it's going to test your knowledge of what you think is really good branding. All right, how many of you guys think you could notice a pretty recognizable brand right off the bat? Like if I showed you something that had 3 stripes on it, what brand would that be? Okay, you guys get the picture. So we're going to test your knowledge of what brands are. The second thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to worship together, and I'd encourage you guys, worship is just this. It's just expressing to God how great He is, right? And then after that, I'm going to teach a message from the Bible, which I think will be pretty helpful. And then we're going to go to small groups. Small groups are just a time where we get together with people who are a little bit closer to our age, and we talk about the message. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and invite you guys. Welcome Brett to the stage.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So first thing about tonight's game is it's going to be a whole lot more fun if we are into it and energetic. With that being said, tonight we're playing a game called Brandless Brands. It's going to be a buzzer game. So the first thing I need you guys to do is to split into 2 teams. So if you're on this side of the room, go over there. If you're on this side of the room, go over there. All right. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's up? No. I don't remember. Did you guys hear that? Once you guys are inside your teams, come up with a team name based on your favorite brand. Okay? Like a clothes brand, car brand, some brand. When you guys are ready, I need you guys to tell me your names. You guys have a team name yet? I'll come back. All right. This team over here, what's you guys' team name? Supreminators. All right, over here we got the Supreminators. And this corner over here, what's you guys' team name? Convans. The Supreminators and the Convans. We're going lots of clothing tonight. All right. So to start us off, you guys there's gonna be a blank, very artistically simple color scheme and a little bit of a logo up there. And what you guys have to do is guess what logo it belongs to, okay? So Brant, you want to do a round like this first round as just an example? All right. So let's say we got 2 people up here. And as soon as it's a thing, the first one to hit the buzzer gets the answer there first. So let's say, Brett, can you throw it up there, or whoever's doing it? Can you throw the first slide up there, please? All righty. So, all right, I'm on this team, somebody's on that team. I look at it. What logo do you guys think that is? Somebody just throw it out there. No, that's the Marvel logo. So, the first person to hit, we're going to have 2 teams up here. So the first person at the buzzer, and if they answer correctly, they're going to get 3 million points. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of points. Now if they get it wrong, the other person who did not hit the buzzer gets a chance to steal for 1 million points. If neither of you get it, 0 points to either team. So with that being said, can Team Convan and Supreminator please send up your first representative? Yeah, Joe. We got Joe and Lakota. All right, so we're going to have one hand on the table, one hand behind your back. When it goes up there, you can hit the buzzer. This thing must be, it doesn't matter. The thing must be on the screen before you hit the buzzer. All right, slide please. All right, what's your answer?
I don't know. Adidas? Is it Adidas?
No, Lakota.
I don't know either.
Okay, that is 0 points. What brand is that? Apple. Okay. All right, who's our next representatives? Come on. Right now we got 0 points across the board. Convan, what you guys got? Come on, send somebody.
Send somebody else, me. Oh, wait, that's everybody.
Very nice. I like it.
Can I tap your mic?
All right. Okay, one hand on the table, one hand behind your back. Slide, please.
Is that like...
I would say he hit first.
I swear I know this.
Come on. No, Marvel's already been up there. Lee, it's your turn to steal.
Is that like, it looks like a computer screen.
All right, it's a brand. What
I know,
brand
I
is
know.
it? You've already answered. I'm sorry.
I know what it is.
5,
I don't know. It
4,
just looks like a computer. Do I get to
3,
steal?
2, 1. No, you already answered because you hit first.
It's LG. It's LG.
No, can I get a slide, please? Netflix. Go Zach. All right, we are still sitting at 0 on this side for the Supreminators and 0 on this side for the Convans. Are you for the Supreminators, sir? Are you for the Supreminators? All right, we got our contestant for the Supreminators. Who do we got over here? Wyatt, welcome to the stage. You guys know the rules. One hand on the table. We'll keep this nice in the middle. Can I get the slide, please? Ooh. What is your answer?
Chrome.
You are really close, but no, I'm sorry. Do you have the chance to steal for 1 million points?
I don't know.
This is Google, I think. Yes. Google. Look at the colors. It's all in the colors. We are still sitting at 0 million points for both teams going into the 6th round. By the way, we skipped round 5. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. Can I get somebody from Supreminators and somebody from Conman? The whole game is riding on the line here because nobody has any points. You could win it in the last round. All right, welcome to the stage. What is your name?
Sean.
What'd you say?
Sean.
Nice to meet you. Can I get one hand on the table, one hand behind your back, and get ready? First where's the buzzer gets to answer. Can I get a slide, please? Oh, sorry, I just like to hear the buzzer. What was your answer?
80s mints. I don't know.
80s mints. Okay. Wait, don't split the slide. You have a chance to steal. What do you got? Think about it. Oh, never mind. My bad. That was my fault. Okay. We're still at 0 million points. You guys can return back to your place. Thank you for participating. Send up your next contestant. We're going into the 7th round, 0 million to 0 million. Brant, this game is so hard. Big Jake, we got him up here. Oh, this just got serious. Oh, we got some dirty play over here. Just for that, we're going to put the... Okay.
I have a longer reach.
Yes. Hands on the table, one hand behind the back. Let's get the slide, please. What logo is this?
Dell?
Dell. No. You have a chance to steal.
Ford.
Ford. We have the first points given out. 1 million points to the Supreminators. Convans, you guys are behind. When y'all are done, send up your next contestant to the stage for round 8. Can Convans make a comeback against the 1 million point lead? Preferably somebody who has not yet participated. Please come. Oh, we got Lucas for the Convans. Who we got over here for the Supreminators? Oh my goodness, we got Cody, the legend, coming up to play. Cody versus Lucas. Lucas versus Cody. One hand on the table, please. One hand behind your back. Let's get the slide, please. Do you know what brand that is the logo for? Did you just hit it because you wanted to hit it?
Yeah, I think it looks really familiar.
All right.
Google.
Google. Give me, people back in the stands who know. Give me a yay or nay. Nay, okay. Lucas, you have a chance to steal.
I don't know. It kind of goes with.
Was he right when you said, what was your answer? Is that Google? No. Okay, Lucas, you now have a chance to steal for 1 million points to tie the game up. Okay, his answer is Chrome. Can we flip the slide, please? No, that is Instagram. We are at 1 million points versus 0 million points. And I think we might be running out of rounds for our first event here. Can I get another representative from your team and another representative from the Convans? Come on, Convans, you guys back up. Yeah, all right. Like everybody else, one hand on the table, please, one hand behind your back. First person at the buzzer gets to answer first. Can I get the slide to switch, please? Wow. We have colors and dots. Pay attention to the colors. What logos do you know with those colors in them? Green, black, I don't know what the other one is. This is something that you would know. Request for the lights to go back off. I do not know. No helping right now. What colors go with those? What logo goes with those colors? I know this one too. I saw the answers there. Just hit the buzzer and give me a guess. What? All right. This is a stalemate right now. No, that wouldn't be fair. Because both teams know, both contestants do not. Buzz when you guys think you have an answer, even if it's just an idea. We got to keep moving. I will start a countdown. Think about it. If you buzz first and you happen to be right, that's 3 million points. Your team is behind. You really need those 3 million points right now. What? His team name is Convans. My bad. When you guys think you have an answer, please buzz in. All right, we have a first buzz in for 3 million points. What logo do you think goes with that? I don't know. Come on, just throw out an answer. Look at the colors. Look at the colors. Look at the colors. You probably spend a ton of time. Most people in our age demographic spend a lot of time there.
Come on!
10.
Can we give a hint?
9.
We know
8. No hints. 7. What?
Facebook?
Not Facebook. Those colors did not go with Facebook. All right. Your turn to steal for 1 million very, very needed points. Look at the colors. Think about what app or brand goes with that. We would like the lights off again one more time, please. Look at the colors. Just guess. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. Can you guys send up your next contestants, please, for round 10? We still have a 1 million point lead over the Convans for the Supreminators. Thank you, I got it. You're back. Wyatt is back up here yet again. Oh, and Zach, the leader, comes up to the stage. This could be good. Wyatt, think about it. You got to maintain your lead here.
You know what?
You need to catch up.
I'll even go left hand.
All right. Slide, please. What logo goes with those colors? What? Oh, nobody's getting this one. There's no.
Xbox.
No.
Bitmoji, but no matter what, we win. So.
Can I get the slide, please? Who actually knew that was Crocs' logo? I did not know Crocs even had a logo. Alrighty. You guys are up by 1 million points. going into the last round, I think. This might be the last round. Can I have a contestant from the Convans please come? Emma, you should totally come up here. Emma, I don't bite, I promise. I need a contestant from the Convans, please. What? Joel, you've been brought up. Jake, you need to maintain your lead. Joel, your whole team is relying on you to win in this entire category. Can I see the logo, please? Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to think. It's a burger place.
Yes. Keep going. Come on, Joel.
No,
Come on, Joel.
I know this. Rallies?
No.
No.
What is your guess?
Is it In-N-Out?
No. So here's the thing. Your name is Convans. So let me see the logo. It was in your team name. Can I get the next slide, please? I don't know how many more rounds there are. Slides, please. Okay, so we are now transferring on to, okay, let me start with this. For the brandless brands, the Supreminators won the brandless brands. We are now moving on to very similar to the last game. This is brandless superheroes. You're going to get the same kind of thing, and you got to guess the superhero. Points are doubled for this round. Points are doubled. Thank you. Okay. Colors, shapes, all that jazz. Send up a person. Convans versus Supreminators. Here we go again. Can the Convans do better this round? I'm still kind of disappointed in Joel, specifically in Joel. Oh no, Coda, you're gonna have one heck of a competition up here as Zach is kind of a nerd in the best way. Here we go with the first round. What logo? He got it, it's Batman, that's 6 million points to the Supreminators. Convans is now once again behind. Can I get the next contestants up here, please? I'm going to lose my voice. This is great. I don't even need these anymore. All right, remember, superheroes. Guess the superhero off the superhero logo. No, this is my notes for what I have to say. What superhero is this correlated to? Leah, you got the first answer.
Marvel.
It's actually, I'm not supposed to tell you anything.
Captain Marvel.
No, you need to leave the stage, please. I'm good for you. Captain Marvel?
That has to be Captain Marvel.
No, it is not Captain Marvel. You now have the chance to steal for 2 million points. Oh.
Yeah, see? Not fair.
I'm sorry, that's not fair, but life's not. You're already winning, so you can go. Yeah. Can I get another contestant up here to the front of the stage, please? Thank you, Joel, for telling me when that happens. I didn't know if it was right or not, so I'm looking for them. All right, who's coming up here on this stage? All right, over here, we have landed. On this side, we have Monfrey, Joel. All right, can I get the slide, please? What superhero is this correlating to? I'll give you a hint. It's my superhero.
I don't know that.
It's one of my superheroes.
I couldn't hear you.
I think it's Captain America, maybe?
Is it Captain America? Good job. That is another 6 million points to the Supreminators. All righty. That is 2 6 million point wins over here. And unfortunately, Convans, you guys are not having it right now. Can I get another contestant up here, please? Can I get a contestant from Supreminators up to the front, please? Welcome back. Hands on the table, one hand behind your back. Let's see the slide. What superhero does this correlate to?
Come on, you got the quiet. Look at the colors.
Flash.
Is it the Flash? Because I have no idea. No, it's not the Flash. All right, you have a chance to steal for 2 million points. Come on, just throw out a random guess from something in the superhero. Okay, so you decide to pass. All right, what is the answer? Shazam! That was a hard one. Alrighty, 0 points to either team from that round. Can I get somebody from your team up here to the stage, please? And can I get somebody from the Supreminators back up to the stage? Jake, welcome to the stage. Oh, we're having another stall face-off. Andrew, welcome up to the stage. All right, I want a fair fight. Hands on the table. All right. Can I get the slide, please? Oh, it's already up there. Cool. What superhero does this go to? For 6 very needed million points.
Deadpool?
No, it is not Deadpool. Jake, you have a chance to steal for 2 million points.
Is it the Flash?
Is it the Flash? No. There is 0 million points taken from this round. It is Thor. That was a hard one. I'll give it to you guys. All right, I need another contestant from you guys' teams up here to the stage. Jeremiah, welcome back to the stage. Can I get your hand on the table, even though your contestant's not up here? Jeremiah versus Wyatt. Now, how much do you say you know about superheroes?
I know a lot. Some of them I don't know.
He knows a lot. How much do you know about superheroes?
Not that much.
Not that much. Jeremiah, you have an advantage here. All right, hands on the table. Let's get the slide, please. Yes! 6 million points to the Convents. The first points won this game for getting the Incredible Hulk. Good job, Wyatt. Good stuff. All right, next contestants up to the stage, please. Cody, welcome up, welcome up. Hey, Jake. Thank you.
Fixing you. I was making center.
Convents, I need a contestant, please. Thank you. Lucas, welcome up to the stage. All right. Hand on the table, hand behind the back. This is round 7. You're starting to close the gap, but you're not there yet.
Is this one Deadpool?
Yes, this is Deadpool. Convents is making a comeback. He already got it. That is now 12 million points to the Convents, and I have no idea how many you guys have.
We won this at least 3 times, then we did the other one. We won a normal, and then we won.
Okay. Yes. I did not make the slides. Therefore, it's not my fault.
He's not a superhero.
Got it. Can I have a contestant up to the stage, please? It's up to you guys' team. We have Joel rejoining us on the stage. I'm losing my place. This is awesome. All right. What? It's because I'm getting into it. It's fun. How much would you say you know about superheroes?
A fair amount.
Fair amount. Isaiah's up here. He means business when he's up here. All right. Can I get the slide, please? Wait, hold up. One hand on the table, one hand behind your back. Let's make this a fair fight. All right. Buzz when you think you know the answer. Did somebody buzz?
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
The Flash.
Is it the Flash? Brant, yes or no? No, this is not the Flash. Who is this? Joel, it comes down to you. This could tie the game for you.
Iron Man.
I am Iron Man. That is a tied game.
Iron Man technically not a superhero. It's having these powers.
Again, that does not matter for this game. The first round, the first game went to the Supreminators. The second game is now tied between the Convents and Supreminators. Can I get a contestant from the Convents to potentially win the game? They have this. The first million that you guys had in the last game points don't carry over. I didn't say that, but they don't carry over. I'm keeping track of it. Okay. Thank you very much for being very patient. One hand on the table, one hand behind your back. Can I get the slide, please? You are not good at this game.
Who is it?
Buzz when you think you know the answer. Yeah, red, blue, black, just so you know. All right, somebody's got to buzz in. Let's keep it moving.
You know it.
Come on.
Rack your brain. Rack it
Superhero,
as hard as you can.
red, black, blue. What superhero has red, black, and blue? I actually have no idea for this one. Yeah, I have no idea. All right.
You know this superhero.
Joe, buzz in. Joe, just buzz in and make a guess. Just buzz in and make a guess. All right, Joe buzzes in. What's your guess?
You just told me to buzz it. Is it Wonder Woman?
Is it Wonder Woman? No, it is not Wonder Woman.
Come on, Daniel, you know this. Think.
I don't know.
I can tell in the rack in the brain. There's nothing wrong.
You know this!
Daniel, think.
No hints.
Rack your brain.
All right, I'm going to ask you guys, please.
All you're doing is like distracting him. Let him think.
Dive deep. Oh, wow, that was really good. He just gave you a hint. Red, black, and blue. Does it ever a spider can? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Say something.
Somebody from Marvel.
Superman.
What?
Superman.
Oh. Spider-Man. We have 2 rounds left in the competition. I need a volunteer from Supreminators. And I need a volunteer from Convans. Wyatt, you started your team back on a winning streak. Let's see what you guys got. Will, welcome to the stage. I believe in you. 1 hand on the table, 1 hand behind you. Here we go. Hey, Buzz, you're good. What do you got?
Green Lantern?
Green Lantern. Yes! That is 6 million points to the Supreminators. I have a rough guess. Convans, I need another team member from you guys. Here we go. 1 hand on the table. There's a lot of people riding on this. Jake, you are so intense. Slide, please.
What is that?
I know this one. This is the final round. This is the final round. It's the final countdown.
Rack your brain. Think.
Yes, he is. Yellow and blue. It's a superhero. I think you do. If you have a guess, anybody can buzz in.
Your wife has led up to this moment. You've been
No.
training your whole life.
Not to my knowledge. Jake, I'm going to ask you to please step back from the stage. Because you're like on my thing. I believe in you, Landon. I believe in you, Braden. I believe in you, Landon. I believe in you. I believe in both of you.
Which one do you believe in more?
I'm not answering that question.
The Wolverine.
Yes! That was debatably cheating. That is the final round. Okay, that was a really awesome game. Brant, would you like to mic?
Not bad. No, transition to work.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for playing that awesome, really, really fun and energetic game with me. I'm so glad you guys got into it. That was a lot of fun, even if it was really hard. Can I have the worship team please come up to the stage? I would encourage you guys, if you guys feel like it, to come forward. We are able to do that now. Come forward if you guys feel like it in worship. Also, as you're worshiping, I would encourage you to take that one step further than you're normally comfortable to. Maybe it's closing your eyes, maybe it's singing along, maybe it's raising a hand. But just remember that it's not about how good it sounds if you don't want to sing, what it looks like to other people. It's about what's happening between you and God while you're worshiping. And I'm going to leave it up to Joel to pray for worship.
All right, yeah, you guys can come forward if you want to. Feel free. See, oh, right. Never mind, we're going to pray first. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for letting us gather together here in your presence. I pray that tonight we can focus on you, learn about you, have a great time worshiping you. Amen.
Thank
can have a seat. Well, great job. Let me just say this while you guys are taking a seat and while someone's grabbing the lights for us. I have the utmost respect for our student leaders. My goodness, I hope you guys realize how blessed we are and how blessed you are. Like, I don't know if I could have said this a number of years ago, but like, we probably have one of the best student leadership teams in all of northern Michigan. I seriously believe that. I really do. You guys are fantastic. So don't take them for granted. I certainly don't. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. All righty. So before I jump into what I want to talk about tonight, I do want to mention that next week we at MSM are actually going to be starting a brand new message series that builds up towards Easter. Yes, I know Easter is already around the corner. How many of you guys knew how close Easter is getting? Anybody know? It's like a little over 3 weeks away now. So Easter is getting very, very close. But the thing I love about Easter, and the thing we're going to be talking about, is that Easter basically says to the entire world that anybody can be loved no matter what. And we're going to talk about why that is so significant. But before we get there, we're going to talk tonight about a topic that I think you probably maybe don't want to talk about, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're such a boomer for talking about this. Hear me out, though. Hear me out. I think you're going to like eventually where it goes, okay? So if you just give me some grace tonight, I'll give you some grace. Amen? All righty, let's pray together. Jesus, I pray that tonight as we dive into this topic of media and what your word has to say about how we handle our lives and our minds, Lord, I pray that you would give us wisdom and speak to us tonight. Amen. Have you guys ever thought about the time in which you live in terms of world history of how good you have it? Have you guys ever thought about that before? Like, I have it, you guys have it, we all have it so good. Literally, if you existed in the year like anything BC, people would look at you like you were some sort of deity if you had Google. Right? If you had a little like tiny piece of machinery in your pocket that told you every single answer there ever was to know, like that's like people would call you like Zeus or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you have it really, really, really good. In fact, in terms of even world history right now, you have it really, really good. Not world history, world economics right now. Like you are in the top 1% richest people on the planet. I kid you not. There are people who live on dollars a day or cents a day. And so we have it really, really good. And the interesting thing is you don't have to actually go that far back in history to see just how far we've progressed even in terms of technology. Okay? For example, when I was your age, I couldn't just like text my friends. That wasn't a thing. Okay, when I was in middle school, cell phones were like just coming out, right? Like only the rich parents, they had like Blackberries or Palm Pilots. But other than that, the rest of us, the rest of the plebes in this world, had to use this thing. And yes, I totally got that off of stock images. But they had to use this thing. We actually had this thing in our house, and it had like a 15-foot long cord. Because if I ever wanted to talk to a girl, you better be sure I didn't want my dad seeing that. And so I would like pick up the phone and make do 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 do. Right? And I'm like, that was a 535 number, by the way. And so I had to make that phone call, and then I'd take this thing and go around the corner, and I go around the corner, and I'd be like behind the couch, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a really long cord. And then I had to do like the walk of shame all the way back when I was done with the phone call. And the thing about that is somebody could pick up a different phone in a different room and hear your conversation because it was one phone line with multiple phones on the same phone line. So I remember one time we both raced to the phone, and it was a girl who was calling for my brother, and he picks up the phone slightly before me, but I picked up the other phone, and I heard the whole thing. And then at the end I was like, bye, Ben. So that was this kind of phone. We don't even get me started on music, right? Like, unless you downloaded music illegally, one song per like week, it took that long to download a song. on Napster. Don't ask me how I know that. But if you wanted to get a song at all, you had to go into the store and buy these little tiny bricks called cassette tapes, right? Yeah. And no. There was no playlist. The playlists that you got were like called mixtapes. And basically what you would do is you would turn on the sound receiving part of the whole stereo, and it would like burn over that certain part of the tape. And then you would stop it right there when the song was done, and then you get another song in and wait until it shows up on the radio. You're like, oh no, it's about to come. And so most songs, you actually didn't get the first like few seconds of the song on a mixtape because you had to like time it just perfectly on the radio. And that's how I would build my mixtapes, is on stuff like this. And so this was funny. I was about to get the job here. I was about to be hired here as a youth pastor, and I remember one of the students, this was 6 years ago, we were in the bowling alley, and they're like, man, Brant, because we were just like, I was just meeting some of the students at the time, and they were telling me about this room that their teacher had with this like old school TV, right, like the big fat, round, thick one, you know what I mean? And they're like, and then there was like this like whole wall of, I don't even know what they were like black bricks, and they looked like this. VHS tapes, right? They didn't have no idea what they were. Like, that was how I watched movies. And every time you would rent a movie from the library or from a thing called Blockbuster, right? Every time you would rent a movie from Blockbuster, when you were done with the movie, you had to rewind the whole thing for like 5 minutes to the beginning of the movie until, otherwise, when you returned it, you might, if it wasn't rewound all the way, you might get some sort of fine or penalty, right? So, technology is designed to be convenient, and it made our lives a little bit more convenient than previously up until that point. But if you think about it now, it's like, wow, that's so inconvenient. And the thing about technology is it is designed to connect you to new things, new opportunities, and give you new ways of doing things. And there's technology out there that pretty much applies to every part of our lives. But with so much access now to even updated technology and updated media and updated ways of getting information or entertainment, have you ever stopped to think about this question? Is my entertainment and is my media harmful or helpful? Have you ever thought about this? Like, I don't actually think about that question very often, but when I do, I'm kind of stopped in my tracks going like, ooh, I don't know. Is my entertainment and my media helpful? Is it healthy or unhealthy? In other words, is it good or is it bad? Is media good or is it bad? And honestly, I think that's kind of a hard question to answer. I mean, if you think about it, when like a new show comes out or a new game comes out, it's about to drop on Netflix, or a new app that everyone just it goes crazy about, right? We want to be part of it. We don't want to miss out. Or even social media, if there's like a new trend that like blows up on social media and you're like, man, I want to be part of that. Or there's like a filter that gets really popular that all your friends are using on Snapchat or something like that. In a lot of those ways, we feel the desire, the gravitation towards them. We like things that are like new ways of seeing the world, new ways of relating with each other. And when you look at it, there's a lot of good things about media. There's a lot of good things about technology. I mean, over Thanksgiving, my grandparents, right, weren't able to connect with us because of health issues, and so we were able to connect over Zoom. Like, there's a lot of really cool ways that technology connects us and informs us and gives us more knowledge than ever before. But maybe you hear the opposite as well. Okay, maybe you probably hear like there's plenty of messages, especially from your parents or your teachers or maybe even a pastor every once in a while, right? That media is bad. It's just like awful. Like, how dare you? Like, kids these days, what do they think they're doing? You're like, yeah, what? This is an annoying thing to hear. Maybe there's a Karen in your life who's just like, meh, about media or something like that. And you're just going like, what is it? Is it good? Is it bad? Because, like, maybe the reality is you might even see some of that. Like, somebody uses social media to bully somebody else. Or you see the lives of so many other people and you start comparing yourself to everybody else. And what you're doing is comparing their highlight reel to your internal reality. And maybe it's like you notice that after you playing this, like, really violent video game for a long time, then you hear about somebody's death, and it doesn't really like shock you anymore. It doesn't really like bum you out that somebody actually died. And you start to notice, like, man, even inside, like, I get desensitized to things, and I'm not quite in tune with real life relationships anymore. Or maybe somebody introduces you to pictures on the internet that are really inappropriate, and then you're like, all of a sudden, like, I feel addicted to something, or I feel this thing rise up, and now I have shame all over me, and I go, man, there's so many good things when it comes to media, and then there's so many bad things when it comes to media. And so when you talk about it, it makes it a tricky subject to talk about, right? Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Is it healthy? Is it unhealthy? Should I use it? Should I not use it? The reality is it has a big impact in our lives, both good and both bad. We use our phones to help us solve difficult homework problems, which is a plus, which is also very new. I never had the opportunity to use my phone to solve a difficult homework problem because phones had cords on them and were connected to a wall, right? And so I'm like, I can't do this. Like, we had graphing calculators that we would program games on. I would never play in your class, I promise. But we have lots of fun playing with our games, and we enjoy lots of access to entertainment on the internet, but it's also easy to make poor choices or decisions about what to look at or what to do when we're bored. It allows us to stay in touch with people and connect with them, but when we're on our phones so much, we miss what's happening right in front of us. So is it something that's good for our lives, or is it something that's bad? See, when it comes to media, sometimes it's easy to feel like both sides of that story are true. Like, it's all bad or it's all good. And that leaves us wondering, what do we do when maybe both sides are true? Wow. Do we just choose to say it's good? Do we just choose to say it's bad? Do we have to be all in or all out with our media based on our answer? And I think, honestly, this is a really good question, but it's really hard to answer. And maybe there's a different way of viewing it. So, if you have your Bible, turn with me to 1 Corinthians chapter 6. 1 Corinthians chapter 6. If you don't have a Bible, I highly, 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 highly recommend you bring your Bible. It is a great way to know what God is saying to you. Mr. Joel Struck would love to hand out some Bibles if you don't have a Bible. So, you just raise your hand and he'll bring a Bible to you. If you don't own a Bible at all, this is our free gift to you. Just keep it for free. I promise. We won't come asking for it. It's yours for free. Just keep bringing it back to youth group. We would love for you. Because the reality is the Bible is God's way of talking to us in most of the time. And so we would love for you to, of any place in your life, bring a Bible here. If you can't bring a Bible anywhere else, you can definitely bring a Bible here. But the book of 1 Corinthians was written by a guy named Paul. He used to be a really bad guy. Here's a short version of this. Really bad guy. He hated Christians. He tried to kill them. And then he became one, and he's like, oh, this is actually amazing because Jesus is amazing. And started writing to churches of ways to encourage them to keep following God and growing in their faith. And one of the letters that Paul wrote was a really simple statement to another church saying, like, hey, here's all the ways that you're doing good, that God's using you, but, like, here's a lot of stuff you might need to clean up in your church. You guys need to fix a few things. And one of those things he was talking about was dealing with things that you have freedom to do, but maybe they're not the best thing to do, right? And he wasn't talking about media. Let me just make that, dispel that, okay? Paul did not know what Instagram was, okay? Paul's not talking about TikTok. He's talking about something completely different. However, I think the principle that he uses in talking about this is very helpful in our conversation tonight. And so Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, turn to verse 12. 1 Corinthians 6:12. He says, you say, I'm allowed to do anything, but not everything is good for you. I'm going to stop right there. Paul's writing, right, to a group of people in a church who they loved all the things that they were allowed to do, and they did not like it when anyone else said, you can't tell me what to do, right? They'd be like, no, I can do anything. I have freedom. I have liberty. Whatever I do, God's just going to forgive me. It's all good. I don't need rules. I don't need standards to live up to. Okay? You can't tell me to do anything. I'm allowed to do everything that I want. And it sounds like a lot like our world today. Right? If you try to impose some standard on anybody, man, they get all riled up. I just read an article today, today, about how standardized testing is sexist and racist and, what was the other thing? Classist. About how saying, like, here is a basic standard of knowledge that people should have when they graduate high school. And I'm like, and the reality is, people don't like having any sort of implication that maybe there's a higher level to get to than where they're currently at. So Paul's addressing this going like, yeah, exactly. You say I'm not allowed to do everything, but maybe doing everything's not the best thing for you, right? Technically, when you ask the question, when it comes to your phone, when your TV, your music, any sort of media you have access to, when you ask the question, aren't you free to use this however you want? Whatever game I want to play, aren't I free to just listen to whatever I want? Technically, the answer is yes. And you're like, what? Pastor Brant just said I could listen to whatever I want? Technically, the answer is yes, but this is a big but, okay? I don't like big buts, and I cannot lie. That's it's not a song to listen to, right? But just like Paul is telling the Corinthians in this letter here in the Bible, it's not about your freedom, okay? Whether or not you can listen to something, whether or not you're allowed to listen to whatever you want, play whatever game you want, movies, books, whatever, like entertainment, media, that kind of stuff. Like, the point isn't about the freedom, because technically you do have the freedom. Even as a Christian, you have freedom to enjoy all the good things that God has made in this world, and sometimes people abuse those things, right? But just because you can do something does not mean it's good for you. Sure, you have freedom to open a Netflix account. You have freedom to spend hours scrolling TikTok. You have freedom to binge watch a show on Netflix or YouTube or something like that. You have freedom to play uninterrupted video games all weekend long, but just because you can do that does not mean it's good for you. Which brings us back to wondering if media is good or bad, right? It's not always, is it good or bad? But if it's not, then how do we know how it's impacting our lives? Well, Paul went on to say something I think is really powerful in the rest of this verse. Paul went on to make this important statement that I think we can actually apply to media. This matters. He said, you say I'm not allowed to do anything, but not everything's good for you. And even though, quote, I'm not allowed to do anything, Paul says, I must not become a slave to anything. I can't become a slave to anything. And I think this is what is really clear that Paul's trying to say about media. Do I have the freedom to use it? Sure. Can it be good for us? Yeah, sometimes. I'm never going to be that guy who says to people, you can never have uninterrupted access to Netflix. I'm never going to be that guy who's like, boycott all the bad things because I don't like them, right? Sometimes certain things can be good for you. But when do I know it's starting to be bad for me? When do I know that maybe this is a time to when it starts ruling and running my life. Don't miss this. That's what a slave is. Somebody who is ruled by somebody else. Somebody whose actions are decided by somebody else. That's a slave. So Paul's explaining that when I become a slave to something, that's when I know it's a problem. When I start letting something else rule me, when I start letting something else have more influence over me than my common sense, that's when I know it's a problem, right? So what does this look like? Well, maybe if we're spending hours playing a game or using an app instead of making friends and connecting to the people that God has placed in our lives, maybe it's a problem. Maybe I'm a slave. If we're consistently doing something in front of a screen that leaves us feeling guilty or shameful, maybe that's a problem. Right? Shame's not the way you were designed to live your life. If you keep scrolling through social media and you constantly feel worse about your life, you feel like somebody else has control over your emotions every time you're scrolling through social media, maybe it's a problem. If I asked for everybody to put their phone up on the stage and just not have their phone the rest of today, I won't do that, I promise. But if that idea of having your phone or your computer games or your TV taken away from you is more than you can handle, if having your phone taken away gives you anxiety, then maybe it's not the one who's under your control. Maybe you're the one who's under its control. Maybe it's a negative thing in your life. Maybe it's not good for you, at least at that level right now. So what do you do? What do you do when you begin to notice this isn't inherently wrong, but I'm kind of a slave? I'm under the influence of this thing. I can't give it up. I can't control it. Or even if I can control it, I think I can control it, because most addicts say that they're in complete control. But I start to notice that it's influencing the behaviors in my life more than I realize. If I start to notice that, what do I do? What do I do? I think we have to start by considering the difference between what we're allowed to do and what's best for us. Okay? There are things that you are allowed to do that are not good for you. Amen? Okay? Let me just say this. You're allowed to buy a broadsword at Walmart. You are allowed to walk up to anybody with that broadsword, and for a little bit, you won't get caught. Right? Is that good for you? Is that good for society? Is that good for anybody? No. Okay, that was an extreme example. You are allowed to buy... Okay, I'm not going to pick on... I was going to say an example, but I think I'm picking on somebody. I don't want to do that. Here we go. Here's another example. This is different. I don't think I'm picking on anybody in particular with this one. You're allowed to buy 400 cans of Red Bull. You are. That's legally possible. And financially, I mean, it's a little steep, but it's conceivable. Let's say 200, okay? 200 cans of Red Bull. You can imagine how that would be possible, right? And you're allowed to. And you're also, you know what's allowed? You're allowed to drink all of it in one sitting. Someone tell me, is that good for you? Isaiah's like, bring it on, bro. You know what's also legal? It's not legal to be like texting while you're driving. Or maybe it's legal, it's just not, I don't know. Completely legal to longhand write a form letter while you're driving. Is that good for anybody? No. It's completely illegal to go and buy a bike lock and just add a second bike lock to anybody else's bike. Strangely legal. Is that good? No. Some of y'all are like, I'm going to do that now. So here, when it comes to your media, y'all, you're totally allowed to do a lot of things. But within that, a lot of those things are probably not good for you, right? Sometimes it's hard to know whether or not we're making the best decision. Sometimes it's hard to know whether something is controlling our lives, taking over or not. It's difficult to see the impact. And so how do we use these wise words that Paul said to help us to use media in a way that's beneficial to us and is good for us? And here's my answer, by using a filter. All media requires a filter. Now, I'm not talking about filters on Instagram. I'm not talking about filters on Snapchat, because you can have filters for everything. But the filter I want to use when it comes to media, the filter that I want to use when it comes to anything that I do when it comes to media, is a filter of wisdom. Okay? Wisdom is making the best possible decision when there's not a clear right and wrong. Wisdom says, I live in the gray area between black and white. That I don't exactly know what the right answer is, but this is going to be my filter. I'm going to choose to ask the question, is it wise or not? Not is it allowable or not. Not even is it good or is it bad. No. Is it wise or unwise? Because when you start asking the question, is it wise or unwise, then you're going to start asking the question, is this going to build me up someday in my life, or is this not going to ever help me progress? Right? That's wisdom. Is this going to make me a better student, a better athlete, a better son, a better daughter, a better friend, a better brother or sister, or is this going to not help me be good at that stuff? Right? When I'm scrolling for hours on TikTok, that does not make me a better dad. That does not make me a better husband. That does not make me a better employee. That does not make... You could argue maybe, possibly, slightly by the long shot chance it might make me a better youth pastor. I don't even think so. It doesn't make me a better friend. Okay, so is it wise or is it unwise? It's probably unwise, right? You'd be like, Pastor Brant, get off of TikTok. You've been on it too long. Now, don't worry, I don't scroll through TikTok for that long, but you get the point. All media requires a filter, and so what I want to do is I want to use the filter of wisdom. So I want to give you 3 questions to ask. Number 1, where is media controlling me? Man, be honest about the patterns of your life. Most phones will actually tell you how many hours you spend on certain apps. You may or may not be brave enough to look at that, but I would encourage you to try. Because maybe the Bible app got 15 minutes this whole week, and Instagram got 15 hours. Maybe your phone will begin to reveal to you, I am giving my time disproportionately to things that do not matter, that do not build me up, right? So where is media controlling me? And if you can't think of any specific area, consider the possibility either that you're doing great or that it's controlling all of you. It's just your whole life. There's not one area that stands out because it's everything. Number 2, well, think about it this way. If the thought of not being able to watch that show or get online or use your phone or look at social media is upsetting you or giving you anxiety, maybe it's possible that thing is not good for you. Because here's what I want. I want the best version of you. Whatever grade you're in this year, think about that grade that you're going to be in next year. In the amount of time between this year and next year, what would happen if all of a sudden you started asking wise questions and not just allowable questions, and you actually became a better version of yourself just in a year or in 2 years? And by the time you get to high school, man, you're so much closer to God. And by the time you get to high school, you're so much better of a student. By the time you get to high school, you are absolutely thriving in your relationships with your friends. And by the time you get to high school, your family, all of a sudden feels way more at peace because you made the decision, I'm going to start asking wise questions, not allowable questions. So, number 1, where's media controlling me? Number 2, am I using media well? Right? And if you are, awesome, good job. If you're setting good boundaries, you're not, whatever the boundary might be, I'm not going to give you any because I think that's going to be up to you. But are you using it well? Great job. And number 3, is it wise? When you're man, I'm going to start scrolling on this, or I'm going to get this kind of account, or I'm going to start reading these articles or whatever, is it wise? This is the important question because you're starting to use the filter of wisdom. God gave us wisdom to be the filter when it comes to understanding how media impacts our lives. So, I want to wrap it up with this. If you're ever in a situation where it's hard to determine what is wise, you can always ask. Here's a life hack. You can always ask somebody. If you're I don't know if this is wise or not. I don't know what wisdom is. You could ask God. James chapter 1 says, man, God loves not only when you ask him wisdom, because some people, when you ask them questions, they're going to make you feel dumb for asking a question. God's never going to make you feel dumb. In fact, when you ask for wisdom, he's going to give you more than you expected. He's usually dump buckets of wisdom on you. That's kind of the imagery God gives in James chapter 1. So ask God. You can ask other people. You got small group leaders. You got a youth pastor. You got parents and coaches and teachers. People would love to give you wisdom. I always know that somebody's going really far in life when they ask great questions. A, when they're bold enough to ask a question, and B, when they ask really good questions about things in their life. So you can ask people, because I think that indicates that you're set up to do really well not only in life, but in your relationship with God. So when in doubt, ask someone you trust, and maybe be open to how they might help you use media in a wise way, because you want to use a filter, and you want to use the filter of wisdom. Jesus, I pray that as we listen to your word and you help us to understand that maybe more things are allowable than we realize, but maybe not everything is good for us. Help us to use the filter of wisdom in our lives as we move towards the best version of ourselves that you want us to progress towards. God, help us to become a people, help us to become individuals who are spiritually strong, who love you, and who are following you in every area of our lives. Amen. Well, hey guys, we're going to head to small groups here, and your small group leaders are going to have their small group sheets. If you have, which are back there by the computer. If you guys have no idea what small group you're going to go to, come and chat with me. I'd love to point you in the right direction.